2023 Bay Bridge 10K run. We are going to talk about some brief pre-race things, then we're going to talk about some race specifics. Before we dive into the pre-race details, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you are new here and you do need coaching, please reach out. Happy to train you up or give you some last-minute race advice in between now and the weekend. Looking forward into the future, we do have some spots available on our roster. If you are interested in coaching, please reach out, and I'll put a link in the description of how to contact us there. I will also put a link for this race packet, information that they have put out leading up to the race so you can dive into it a little more in detail. I'm going to skip over some things and do some top priority items that you need to know for our 2023 Bay Bridge 10K. So first up, if you've already selected the option to get your packet mailed to you, that should be on your way. It is too late to switch up, so if you haven't received it by now, make sure you contact them and reach out to see what's going on. QR code, make sure you print this out before you go to the packet pickup locations on race day. Before race day. The packet pickup locations are available at Monday, November 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 11th. These are the locations of where you can pick up your packet and the times listed there. Mostly 3 to 7, 1 to 6, 11 to 4 for the Thursday the 9th, and 10 to 4 on the 11th Saturday. Packet pickup, there is none on race morning. Gear check. On Saturday, packet pickup is the only location where you can check a bag with a post-race change of clothes. Do not attend one of the other packet pickup locations if you want to utilize a bag check. That is a very, very important detail if you want if you want to have a post-race like clothes or anything that you need after that. Page 3 talks about how packet pickup works. Again, I'm going to skip over that and allow you to do that yourself. Remember, there's no race day sales of parking passes. You're going to have to do that probably at your packet pickup locations and dates you attend those. Runner's gear check, only available on Saturday. Again, page 4 talks about what you are allowed to bring: fanny packs, hydration belts or packs, cups, or bike bottles, and 1-gallon clear bags. Participants are not allowed to bring things like strollers, selfie sticks, bike packs for gear, glass containers, weapons, that kind of stuff, and drones not allowed. Page 5 talks about this is a cupless race. What they mean by that is there's only going to be one aid station out on course. Highly encouraged for you to bring your own water. All participants must carry their own water during the event and bring their bottle to the start line full and ready to run, as they say. The aid station is going to have a self-serve area where you can refill this, and it will not have cups out on course. So if you plan to use the course nutrition, you are going to have to plan on bringing a bottle to carry it. They say that they are going to have water and Gatorade there at mile 3, so that is just something to keep in mind. Page 5 goes into a little bit more of details about that. Race day parking, again, on page 5. There is no drop-off or parking for runners at the start line. Please do not get dropped off. You must attend one of the shuttled areas, and of course I cannot find it right now. The shuttle areas are listed over here. This is the, if you scroll up, this is the participant parking and shuttles tab. Go over here and you will be able to find it right over here. Scroll down here and you can see where you can park yourself and get a shuttle to the start. Not participants, but spectators are not encouraged to visit the start line. It's a little too crowded over there. There's going to be a lot of chaos mixed in there. So again, there are going to be shuttles. Make sure you use those shuttles if you are a participant or a spectator as well. And the spectators are going to be on different shuttles than the race athletes. After the finish line as well, there are going to be shuttles going back. They will wait till the bus is full until they drive away. And again, I'm not hip to what the deal is with spectators, if they are going to be allowed to board the shuttle. So make sure you ask that when you go to your check-in or your packet pickup. Again, there's no drop-off or parking for runners at the start line. You must ride a shuttle. Page 6 talks about participant shuttles and locations here. Again, you can read all of this in your spare time, and I will link that in the video below. And talks about the wave starts. They want you to get on that shuttle bus about an hour before your time starts. Excuse me, your race time starts. Wave times. Wave A is going to start at 7, and Wave H is going to start at 8:45. Again, you must start with the wave that you have selected. Shuttle bus departures 1 hour prior to your wave start, and please plan accordingly. Don't be late for your wave or you risk not being able to participate in this event. They are pretty strict on that. Walkers and slower runners, stay to the right over here when you are going up over the bridge and throughout the race course. Faster runners are going to be towards the left of that bridge there. Cancellation policy, you can reach out to them there. This is the map of our course here. This is the start line. You're going to zigzag up towards the bridge, and then you will head up that 3% gradient up over until you get to that water fill station, not an aid station. And then you will drop down over here and then do a little waggle up to that Safeway parking lot for your finish. And we'll talk about that in more detail in a second. Page 8 also talks about water refill and aid stations. There is one aid station on course. It is a refill station. And you will be able to fill things very quickly, they say. If you have a Camelback, you can pour directly from a gallon jug that has volunteers that can help you with that. So page 9 talks about medical time limit is 30 minutes per pace per mile. Drop it out of the race, and the runner-only refreshment zone is located at the Schooner Parkway near the Chesapeake Business Park over there. Awards and trophies, I believe that is only available for Wave A, which has the 7 a.m. time slot start. Celebration Village is right here. This is the finish line when you come in. Then there is a glorious array of things that happen right through here. Bag check happens right at the bottom. There's restrooms right here, and then shuttle buses to take you back are located right here. Shuttle buses will return to the lot starting at 8:30, and again, they will only run when they are full, and they will run until 2:30 p.m. Again, all you can drink wristbands, $15 at Packet Pickup. So again, Packet Pickup's going to have a lot of the things necessary to have race day be a success and also a fun day. The rest of them talks about things to do and things like that, but we are not really interested in that right now. We are interested in getting into the nitty-gritty details. So Sunday, it's going to be about 50 degrees for the high. That means it's going to probably start at about, I would say, upper 30s, lower 40s out there. Wind is forecasted to be 5 to 10, but again, this circuit is almost all over water there, so expect that wind to be a little bit higher. You're also going to be about 200 feet up in the air, which means it's going to be a little windier as well. So I would again plan on there being a little bit more wind that you want there to be on race day. And now let's talk about how you should attack the course for success. Coming out of our gates here, this is the zigzag that we were talking about beforehand right through here. And then you make a hard right and you are going up this big hill up here. The only hill on course. This is going to be a course where you are going to have to be ready for this first 2.5 miles, okay? Because of this, there's no real other way to say this. You're just going to have to go. You have to be warmed up. Do your best to get warm. If there's not a lot of space before that race, do some jumps, do some leg swings, things that you can do to kind of get your heart rate up a little bit and just your body ready to work from the start. Because once your wave starts, you don't have a whole lot of time to kind of ramp up into this wave, or not the wave, your elevation really starts kicking up at about 3/4 of a mile. So that's kind of what you have to get warmed up. There's going to be a lot of people around you. I believe the waves are about 2,000 people per wave. So there's going to be a lot of people mixed in there. All right. You're going to have to do your best to jockey for position. Again, slower runners are encouraged to stay to the right. If you are in that A wave, you're the first wave out there, so you are going to have a little bit more room to play with out on the road in terms of where you position yourself out there. You're going to have to feel it. I can tell you for certain that this first sharp right-hander right here is going to be tightly congested, and it's going to be highly contested out there. So arriving at this spot in a good position is going to be key in order to set yourself up for success later on. If you are a kind of person that really likes to run from the front, then you know at this point in time you're going to need to be up towards the front of the bunch there. If you are more of a come on strong later in the race, then I would allow some of the faster runners to go around you, not totally give it away, but allow them to kind of do that and set the pace for you, and allow them to kind of actively pace for you and break the wind to kind of make it a little bit easier for you. Once you get up to this hill right through here, again, this is our go time, and we're not going to totally unload, but the effort is going to be high and absolutely has to be high here. Because we have a longer downhill stretch of this race, this initial uphill can be a little bit harder as long as you're using this downhill. It's kind of a faster recovery, and I say that in a way that you need to be going fast here, but in control and not, totally, absolutely exploding your heart rate right through here. If you can do that, then you have a total green light to just totally go fast up this hill right here. If you're the person that really struggles on the downhills, you might want to take it a little bit easier up this uphill. If you're kind of a mid-pack athlete, again, I would take this going harder up this hill with a grain of salt. I would just go a little bit harder than you want to here, because this whole, it's about 2 miles down here, is going to be downhill, and it's going to be a lot easier than you think. Main thing you're going to be battling is the weather and other individuals out there. All right, so go a little bit harder up this uphill, hit that water station, fill station, I keep saying the wrong thing. Let's zoom out here. Once you're about halfway over that water, you're going to hit that fill station, and that is in the middle of this downhill section here. So the speeds are going to be a little bit higher. It's going to be a little bit slower, harder to slow down. So make sure you actively prepare for that leading up to it. If you're going to skip it, no big deal. But if you plan on hitting that water fill station or Gatorade fill station, make sure you are aware of what's happening around you and if it is indeed doable. If you're totally on the left-hand side of the road and the fill station's on the right, and you have to cut over at the last minute, you're going to have to weigh the pros and cons of if it is worth that or even able to. Once you start to get further and further down this bridge, it's going to be more like flat running again. So that initial, let's call it halfway point, that water station is going to be a gauge for you of, okay, I've recovered enough to kind of hit this again or slowly start to ramp into some higher efforts. So I want you to view this as a double hill, even though there is only one. So the higher effort is going to come on this first hill, obviously. Then you're going to recover down this downhill a bit, and then once it starts flattening out, I want you to pretend that there's another hill all the way up to that finish line, because this is going to be where you can still catch a lot of people. That hill effectively ends right around mile 4.5. So there's still a good chunk of road to eat up out here and to catch people with. So if you treat this as the point in time where, all right, I've already used up some of my matches I'm going to slowly start to use the rest of my matches up so I arrive at the finish line totally gassed and on my last inch of a match right there. And that means you're pacing this race perfectly. All right. If you arrive at mile 4 and you're just totally gassed, then you totally overdid it, especially on the downhill. And that's going to be a common trap for a lot of athletes out on this race course. Do not overdo it on that long downhill. Again, you should be going fast, but you should be going at that downhill in control. Okay. Because afterwards, then the real race starts and it kicks up again. And if you are, if you're still grasping for air or you're still trying to get some calories in or whatever, you're going to be left behind out here. All right. So actively plan for that and use this downhill section to kind of restore everything back to as good as you can, and use this second half of the race as a springboard to kind of catch other people or leave them in your dust. All right. And that is the 2023 Bay Bridge 10K in a nutshell. And again, if you want more specifics, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to kind of coach you on individual successes for this race. And with that, please, again, like, subscribe, share. And if you do need some coaching, please reach out. We do have a couple of spaces left on our roster for 2024 coming up. Good luck, everybody.